And it's freezing up on us. Ain't it funny how when something is supposed to be ready, it freezes up. So, hey, if welcome everybody to Book Talk Live. Y'all know what time it is. It is a little bit after 3 o'clock Central Standard Time. So, for those of you who are tuning in with us live, we definitely appreciate you. For those of you who are just jumping in or catching the replay, then I promise you today is one of the episodes of Book Talk Live that you do not want to miss. Today I have a great friend with me. He is recently a published author as recent as yesterday. Multiple time best-selling author already, multiple categories. He's already number one, leading the way as he jumped out the gates. Very very big, but even before that, he's made some major moves and is still doing some major things outside of book writing. So I want to introduce y'all to Mr. Reggie Rusk. How you doing today, brother?
I'm doing good. How you doing? I'm still riding that wave and that high from yesterday, but I'm doing really good.
There you go. Hey, I'm right there with you, man. I was there to witness the event and saw how powerful it was. A lot of people didn't necessarily get a chance to. A lot of people were present, and it was for it to be a virtual launch. That was beyond powerful, man. So let's jump into you. Tell the people a little bit more about you, who you are, where you from, your background, and what you do.
All right, I grew up in Texas City, Texas. Was fortunate enough to play college football at the University of Kentucky. Was then fortunate enough to be drafted in 1996 by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Got a chance to play 6 years in the NFL with three different teams: Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Seattle Seahawks, and the San Diego Chargers. After being injured, I was forced to figure out what my next life move was. And I've always been into entrepreneurship. So I started my own business, and then I got into, I did that for a little while, was a limousine service. And then I got into the sports business. I think that was an easy transition for me, getting into, the sports arena, just because that's what I've been doing since I was 9 years old. And so ever since then, I've been working with kids. I was one of those kids that could have easily slipped through the cracks and not got an opportunity, being that I had zero scholarship offers at the end of my senior year and forced me to go to junior college to start. So I made it a mission to help as many kids as I could get that opportunity and have a chance to go to college and do it for free, go to college for free with no debt after they're done by earning a scholarship. And along the way, the entrepreneurship thing was huge. That was one of my pillars. I want to make sure that kids understand that education is definitely important. Entrepreneurship, branding themselves with the character and community service. So I've been doing that for the past 15 years or so. And now just making another transition in life.
There you go, man. That's huge. That is huge. I mean, from not being recruited to going to college, on a full athletic scholarship, and like you said, for free 99. Because I know a lot of us made we went, but not necessarily walked away debt free.
Yeah.
And then took it to the NFL, three teams, 6 years. So you outlasted the average and have a heart for kids. So came back and started teaching them how to do the exact same thing. right? At least get them to college, get that education. Now, I know that most people don't notice, but when you say you help kids, um, you want to put a few numbers on it to let people know the magnitude of the impact that you've already had and are going to continue to have as the years go on?
Yes, sir. Well, me and some of my partners in total, you're looking at around $400 million worth of free money that have been earned through scholarships. I have a network of like-minded individuals that I am partnered with as far as coaches that have the same mindset as myself. And our mission and goal in life is to give back to the kids that, like me, growing up, I was in a single parent household, so I didn't have that father figure. So a lot of times for us, coaches tend to be that father figure in our lives that really spearhead, us into wanting to develop into something. So me and like I said, my team, we are, passionate about giving back and helping young men and women become what they were intended to become, and that's important to us. Um, if those men wouldn't come into my life when they did, who knows? I know I probably would have been successful, but maybe not in the arena that I was successful in. So, God works His miracles, and He gave me the opportunity. He gave me the platform to play in the NFL. I didn't make millions of dollars, but I think He gave me the platform, and that was my calling,
Yeah.
because when people see that you play in the NFL, you have a little bit of credibility behind you. So people are willing to listen. And I have that platform, and I took that opportunity to use it and make sure that, I'm going to help as many kids as I can. And it's a blueprint. I really believe that it's a blueprint, and all of them won't make it to the NFL, and that's fine. But all of them can be successful. All of them can, one day own their own business,
There you go.
be top selling authors. I'm living proof of it. So
There you
it can
go.
happen.
Hey, and like you said, that you have the blueprint, so you're giving them um, one of the things that is missing for most kids, and that's the exposure, right? That exposure piece is huge because a lot of people come back and they say, well, I'm gonna do this for kids, and then you look and you dig deeper, and you actually start to see, wait a minute, you're not doing this for the kids, you're doing it for those behind the scenes things that are happening. But I know just from being around you that you have that definite passion for kids. So tell us a little bit about your book, because I know people want to know, what's going on. He's an author. He's been in the NFL. He's helping kids. And in case people missed it, the number that he said was 400 million, which means that's a lot of money that these kids have been able to gather. So we definitely want to help more kids. So if anybody is watching and they're in administration, they're in different ISDs, they're teachers, they need to connect some of these student athletes. This is your guy that has the blueprint. So let's talk about the book, the recruiting playbook. The
Definitely.
recruiting playbook.
The reason why I wrote the book is, like I discussed previously, over the years of me working with a lot of kids, I've seen so many adults take advantage of families, take advantage of kids, and it happens all the time. And my heart is not at that place where I can stand by and watch people consistently take advantage of other people. And you have these vultures out there. It's all about them. It's all about what they can do and what they've done. So, all these years I've been helping kids, and it's been, a lot of it is mentoring, a lot of
Mhm.
mentoring and getting souls that come in that have issues that are going on, and they are able to confide in me when they probably sometimes couldn't even confide in their parents or their coaches at school. So that just turned me on. And over the years, I've just learned how to piece things together. And I put all of that into the book. And it came from a place of seeing families be manipulated, kids being manipulated by grown-ups. So I wanted to write the book and give these strategies and these key points that any kid, any family could read it and say, wow, I can use these strategies and market myself to colleges, and it's not really costing me much of anything. Some of these companies, man, they charge upwards to $3,000-$4,000 a year. Yep. And all they're doing is putting your name on a website. And, I just feel like that's, it's so distasteful, but that's the society that we live in. So my job, I felt like, was to make it available that families could read this book, get these strategies, and apply them. Now, that's the key thing. That's the key word to it all. Apply. I can write down things, and I've had that. I've told people different things, and they just didn't apply it, and that's on them. But if the information is brought to you and you don't apply it, that's definitely going to be on you. So that's what I did with the book. I just, it's been a long time coming because, I'm not an author. Well, I guess I am an author now.
You're an author now, yeah.
Going forward, I wasn't. It was just an idea. It was just a goal of mine to write a book. And I was told to, writing really is therapy for you. So I started just writing as a therapy mechanism. And man, it just once I showed different people, they were like, wow, this is actually pretty good. I think you can help a lot of people with this. So that's how it came about, and I call it the recruiting playbook. We all play sports, and there's always a playbook, and the playbook is what makes you successful in that game. If you follow the playbook, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be successful. So that's why I call it the recruiting playbook, because if anyone reads it, they're going to be able to take some things out of it and apply and be seen. And that's all we need, is that one opportunity.
Exactly. I gotta make a correction though, because you say anybody can play sports. No, I laugh when I share my story. I'm 6'7", played basketball in high school, but see, there were like, here's the coaches is right here. There's all the players. There's the water boy right here, and I was like somewhere down there. So
hey, I didn't say you have to be great at it. I said everybody can play. You know what I mean? Like, that's the reality of it. But, the one thing that I feel about sports is sports brings people from different backgrounds together. What other, where can you go and sit in a stadium and cheer and high five a person that you don't know? It doesn't matter what color they are. It doesn't matter what race, what ethnic background they're from. You're supporting your team, right? So, that's what I love about sports, and that's why I wanted to stay around it, because, it just makes you feel good, and you don't see color or none of that stuff. So.
Exactly. There's a lot of brotherhoods that are formed, brotherhoods and sisterhoods that are formed on the court, on the field, on the track, whatever it is. Just that sports camaraderie gives people, gives kids especially, a different level of discipline that they wouldn't normally have if they weren't involved in some type of sports. Because some of these kids are like, they're good on the keyboard, they're good on their phones, they're good with video games, but they never get into anything else until they find sports. And then all of a sudden it's like this kid is now a social butterfly. They got friends from every background, every part of the neighborhood, every part of the community. And just like you said, it's not about race, it's not about color, it's not about creed and nationality, it's not even about economic status, because you'll have kids who normally would have never met that are now brothers in arms or sisters in arms because they're connected through this sport that they're a part of, right? Um,
Definitely,
so
definitely.
so when you say any kid, so is this playbook just for like juniors and seniors because that's usually the time that people are starting to get recruited, right?
Not for me. Over the years, I've noticed that recruiting starts in around the seventh, eighth grade.
Mm-hmm.
You have to start the process, and
Yeah.
and it's just like I always make the analogy to my kids about preparing for a test. So when they're training, actual physical training, um, that's preparing for the test. The test is game day, right?
Yeah.
So when you're talking about recruiting, starts early. The earlier you start, the more knowledge you're going to gain throughout that process, and you're going to be able to be better prepared for when your junior year comes.
There you
If
go.
you wait till your junior year, I've seen it time and time again. These kids sit back, they wait, and they wait for their coaches to put them out there. It does not work like that. It's easy for me to have a 4-star, 5-star athlete and promote them because
Mm-hmm.
reality tells us that that kid is going to be recruited, highly recruited anyway.
Yeah.
I don't even want those. I'm going to work with them, of course, but I want the kid that no one thought, because I
There
was
you
that
go.
guy.
There you
I
go.
was that guy, right? No one thought, but my heart was bigger than I don't. It was, you got 6'4", 6'5" guys on the field. My heart was bigger than theirs. And when I crossed that line, I was a totally different person. And I want to make sure the kids understand that. Don't let your size, your speed, your height, your strength. Don't let any of those be
You got to throw
a
height in there again.
crutch, huh?
You got to
Can't
throw
let
height in
them
there again.
enhance, huh?
I said you got to throw height in there again.
Oh
Really?
yeah. Hey, but I mean, reality tells us, like, if a kid's 6'5", guess what he's gonna do? He
Wow.
thinks he thinks that everybody wants him because he's 6'5".
Mm-hmm.
If you're 5'9", 5'10", the kid, most of them think that no one wants them because they're not tall enough. If you
Yeah.
erase that out of the mindset, hey, it's about how much work you put in, where you want to be, and how much work you're going to put in. At the end of the day, that's what it all is about. And I always give them examples. Muggsy Bowles,
5'8".
5'5". Spud Webb, 5'7". You think about Spud Webb winning the NBA dunk contest. If he would have listened to most of the naysayers telling him, man, you're too short. You never make the NBA. Not only
Mm-hmm.
did he make it to the NBA, he won the dunk contest. That's
Yep.
incredible, right? Like, someone that short, and I'm sure that people told him that he would never make it.
Because he was too small.
So he was
Yeah.
too small. So I always give them examples of people who were probably told that they would never make it. And it's up to you and your mindset and your work ethic. That's what's going to push you forward. I never thought I would be a business owner, a NFL player. Those are lofty, lofty goals. But if your mindset tells you can do whatever it is that you want to, you're too stupid on that front to know that you can't make it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know I couldn't make it. I know there were lofty goals. I didn't say that I was gonna end up doing those things, but that was my goal to accomplish those things. So I think when you set those goals and you set your mind up, you can do and become whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly. And I think for most people as they're listening, they're like, well, he's only talking about the athletic side of it, right? And here's the part that I don't want people to miss, because the recruiting process is not just about the athletic side of it, because there's some super duper athletic kids or super duper athletes that don't go where they could have, because they didn't have this. They weren't using this. It was like I'm gonna do it because I got the athletic ability. Let's talk about the other side of what you share when it comes down to the recruiting playbook, the mental side of it. Like, what are some of the things that you break down for them in there?
I mean, just like what you just mentioned, that is a huge. When I say educational literacy, it's not just talking about education in a book.
Yeah.
It's talking about the 90% of this and the 10% of the physical. Mm-hmm. And I always break that down, and I try to break it down in the lamest term that I can.
Yeah.
I can find an athlete on virtually every corner of every major city, right? Great athletes. I've seen guys that can get out of their car, 360 windmill with jeans on and church shoes on. Mm-hmm. Those guys didn't make it because the mental aspect, when you're not out and you're supposed to be in your room at a certain time, that's holding yourself accountable, right? Those are the factors that why people make it. It's not always about your athletic ability. And that's what, one of the major things that we try to make sure that we stress with student athletes. Don't let it be all about your athletic ability, because I've seen a lot of guys. You think about injury. Like, I was injured, and I remember my coaches always telling me, play every play like it's your last play. We hear it. Yeah. We hear it all the time. But when it happens, you're like, I was prepared for it. You know what I mean? I wasn't ready for it, but hey, I played every play hard. So when someone tells you that, if that's your mindset, you're going to be ready. Like, if you get injured, I've done all that I can do, and I can't play anymore. But now what? Now what? What do I do now? That's where the mental aspect comes in. For me, I was injured, couldn't play anymore. I started a business right then. Mm-hmm. No business experience, so it is about mindset. It's about your mentality. And we try and stress that to kids, that 90-10 rule. It's more mental, because once you make it to the NFL, everybody's fast, everybody's strong, everybody's physical. The guys that are Hall of Famers, the guys that last for a long time, they know how to take care of their bodies. That's not anything physical. That's mental, right?
Yeah.
They get sleep. They know when to, they're drinking water, not a lot of alcohol. They eat right. They watch film. Those are all mental traits that gets, certain people, very few selective people, to that next level, because there's always levels. So, I made it to the NFL, but I wasn't a Hall of Famer. I wasn't an all-pro. So there's probably some things mentally that I could have done to achieve those things, but I didn't. And I played with some guys that were all, Hall of Famers at this point.
Yeah.
And I was able to see their mental process and why they became Hall of Famers.
Yeah, it was about that. It was about that mental. So for a kid, somebody going into eighth grade, because we're talking about the mental aspects, and if we start at that early age, 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, right? What I love about the book is that you break it down into steps based on where they are, right? It's so for somebody that's in 8th grade, they can start studying certain things. They can start taking certain tests. You wanna jump into that a little bit and touch on some of the things that because I know, some of the parents that are on, or that may go back and watch this, they're like, you know what, my kid has all this athletic ability, and I know they're gonna go. They're like, unfortunately, they're our meal ticket out, right? And that's how some people see it. But if you're going to give them the blueprint, like let's say somebody's in 8th grade, what is the most important thing that they should be looking at as an 8th grader or a 7th grader?
The most important thing for me is developing the right mindset, the right attitude, right?
Okay.
I have a kid right now. He's in the 8th grade, and every day that I see him, I tell him he's going to be the best in the state. He's going to be the number one at his position in the state of Texas. I always tell him that. I tell him that to make him to start believing it. And it is working because he's like now, and whenever they're doing drills, and I have other coaches that are training them, and I'm able to sit back and watch, right? And he leads in every drill. Now he's still in the 8th grade, so he does, he's immature. Yeah. He's very immature, but I am programming him to believe that when he gets in high school, and I've already like addressed each year, when he gets in high school, this is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to be. And I'm always talking to him, always drilling those things, telling him, what he should be doing. Don't be hanging out at night. Don't, make sure that, hey, take care of your grades. I want you to be doing these steps, talking to your counselor. Make sure you and your counselor are best friends, because that's the person who's going to keep you in academically in line with what the goal is that we're trying to accomplish for you. So it's programming. The problem with society, not just athletes, and I don't want anyone to take this and think that it, just like you said, it's all about athletes. You can take this book and mentally process it and say, wow, I can start my own business. I can do A, B, C, D with reading this book.
There you go.
And that's how I feel about it. So instead of programming them based off what they hear on TV and music, because music to me, when people can say it, it doesn't affect you, it does affect you. Yeah. I listen to podcasts. I listen to motivational speakers every day, because I need that positive, that positive influence to get my day going. So then when I'm working with kids, I want to give them that positive to program them in a positive way to think.
Their minds. Yeah.
Training their minds. So that kid, the more I program him, when he gets into high school, he's going to say, man, I'm going to be the number one, that, because that's all he's going to know. Yeah. So you can definitely program your kids to think that. And I think a bigger issue is, and I don't want to come at coaches, don't get me wrong, but some people just, for me to build a winning organization, people have to buy in. And from my personal experience, when you believe that coach cares about you, those organizations, those teams, they usually win.
Yeah.
Because those kids are out there doing it for the coach. But in reality, they're helping themselves. They're helping their own case, but they don't know that, because they're programmed to think, man, we got to win this for coach. We got to do this for him. I'm going to run through that wall for him. But, that's how you form and build a community, is that belief system and that culture. You building that culture. And that's what we've always tried to do, is build that culture to where kids don't see their limitations. I didn't see that I was 5'10". Man, you couldn't tell me that I wasn't 6'5" when I stepped on the football field. But that was my belief. And that's what made me successful on the field, So that's kind of how the approach is when you're working with athletes. It's building a culture that's mentally and physically demanding, or where the kids can see that these things are going to help me progress in life, not just on the field or the basketball court.
Set those expectations. And you touched on something that's major. You said for coaches, it's not all about them. And there's a quote that I love. I forget the author of the quote, but it says, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Right. And that's how so many kids are, because you can have a doctorate degree, you can have, all the information in the world on a particular subject. But if you walk into that room with this, I'm so and so, that kid is gonna look at you and say, you just like everybody else. But when you walk in there and you put that kid first, then instantly you get a different result, because they bought into you, which allows them to buy into the program and the process, right? Um, so let's touch on a few more things, because I definitely want people to understand how important this book is. When I say I vouch for the contents of the book, like I actually looked through it, and he's talking the recruiting process, not only the athletic ability that's required, not only the mental, training your mind, but also those simple steps. What your grades need to look like, the different places that you can put your scouting information, the ways to get the video done, the importance of the SAT and the ACT when it comes down to a kid's future. And these are all things that some of the student athletes have been missing, because they, like you said, they get to that point where it's like, oh, I'm the best in my high school, right? And it's like, yeah, your high school isn't the world, though. You competing internationally now. We're no longer in the times where a coach can show up to a game and it's like, oh, I like the way that kid played. Now it's, you have YouTube where kids are, there's the 7-year-old kid, his dad's been training him, and he's out there doing footwork drills. He's out there moving the pads. He's out there pushing the tires. And that's the thing that's getting some of these kids noticed. And so you put all that, how to develop those step by step into the process. So um I definitely want to urge any parent um, that has that kid that has those athletic ambitions to go and check out the book. Um, right now, it is on Amazon, but something that I know that you're doing for people is, I want to say, didn't you say yesterday that within the next few days, anybody that purchases the book directly from you outside of Amazon also gets a discount and an autographed copy with that?
Yeah, definitely. I want to be able to. I want to share my success with others, and I feel like that. That's the least that I could do if somebody's supporting what I'm doing. That I would definitely sign, hand, autograph each copy that is purchased. I've always been about other people and not about myself. It's definitely about giving back and showing the love and support that other people have for you and giving that back out. So for me, it's always been about that. I want these kids, and just like you saw yesterday on the call, you have people that speak very highly of you because and I'm not doing it for that, but that's what happens. And
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be that beacon of hope for other people, because I'm gonna be honest, like when I was in high school, I didn't have that.
Yeah.
I don't remember people coming back and being positive and telling us that we can become whatever we wanted to be. We could go to college and be successful. So I made a commitment my first year in college. I made a commitment that I was going to be the guy that came back and tried to pull as many with me as I possibly can. And I haven't deviated from
That bridge
that
builder.
goal, you know. And I remember going and speaking at my first high school when I was when I was a freshman, you know, and I just wanted to be that guy. I just wanted to be that guy that I look at it like this: you can live eternally when you bless a lot of people, because you will always be on the hearts and minds of all of those people that you've helped along the way.
Yeah.
they won't go a day without thinking about you because you've helped them in such a manner. And that's how I feel about the couple people who I feel like just always been there for me. And they will live eternally in my heart and in my mind. So I want to be able to be that blessing for other people.
Yes, sir. That's powerful, man. I think it's something in the water because we were born in the same county that G-Co.
Yes, sir.
I was born on that island. So I think it's something in that water. And what you mentioned is so powerful, man, because like for me, I see a lot of people that they have these accolades and it's like I did this, I did that. And for me it was I grew up watching somebody, my sister, who did all those things that you're talking about. And so she set that example for me to where I said, you know what, there are no limits. My sister was 5'7". She wore Coke bottle glasses. She was awkward when she ran, but she blew everybody out on that track after suffering the pain of going through it. And so for me, I grew up right down the street in Houston. You know, I didn't grow up in Galveston. Most of my cousins were, but I was in Houston, and I saw a lot of kids that went down that opposite path of, well, you know, there's the dope dealers right down the street. They making quick money. I'm gonna make that quick money, and ended up going to prison or going, you know, some lost their life, some went to prison. And my mindset was always, I got to get to college. I got to get out of here because I have to show the ones that are coming behind me how it's done and show them that there's, you know, break that chain of of that poverty mindset. Right. So I highly respect the fact that you are being that bridge for so many others because, like you said, you want that legacy that lives on beyond. Some people say what, you know, what our haters say about us. And I'm like, I ain't worried about what the haters say. They're gonna talk anyway. I'm worried about the ones who are coming behind me that see the roadmap and see that blueprint that it is possible to go from this neighborhood or from this, you know, economic status to doing whatever it is that you want to. So I highly salute you for doing that, man. And like you said, I know that your legacy will live on because I was witness to it yesterday as we were launching. And you know, the people, you know, thank you for what you've done for my kids. Thank you for what you've done in my life. And this is in the middle of you talking and sharing information, and people are just throwing the testimonies out there. So your impact has already been felt, and I salute you for what you're doing. Um, what's the plans from here? Are you, because I know that once it is, now that the book is out, that's the opportunity for millions of people to have the opportunity to go and pick that book up and help their kids in the process. So are you looking at possibly doing, you know, working with more schools? Are you looking at working with more districts or working with different organizations? Like what's the next step for you?
Yeah, man. I have, I've always had very lofty goals, and I work with every kid from every nationality, every every background. I've never had, an issue with any of that. But I do, one of the things that I want to really focus on this year is I want to help more African American youth, young men that grew up like me, who may not have had the same mindset that I had. The kid that I was telling you about in 8th grade, I'm not gonna put his name out there or anything, but his mom lives in another state, and he's here with some family members.
Wow.
So he's not with his dad. He's not with, I'm saying, like, he's with a cousin, I believe. Um,
So
those
his
are the
job is even
kids
harder.
that they need it,
Yeah.
because if I wouldn't have had that positive role model, and my positive role model was of a different race. So that's not the issue. But for some, they need to see a positive Black role model who, in their eyes, very successful. I have a hard time talking about success and money and all of those things. I just have a hard time with that. That's just one of my things. I believe success is different for everybody.
Yeah.
And so with me, I really, and you and I have discussed this a number of times. I want to do, mentoring camps where we bring the kids out and we bring positive role models out and let them invest in them as far as giving back to them and show them that there's more than the circumstances that you are in and the circumstances in which you come from. There's more for us than just being able to dribble and run a football. We're going to use sports as a tool or a vehicle to get the free education that I talked about. But football, basketball, baseball, whatever it is, that's going to be secondary for us.
Vehicle, yeah.
I want us to understand the power of investing, the power of owning your own business. And if I'm going to work hard for somebody, I want to work hard for myself, right? Yeah. I'm going to put that labor and that work in for myself. And they need to see that. They need to experience that. Unfortunately, a lot of times we just don't have that in our neighborhoods. And the only thing that we see and we hear is negativity. And it's pumped in our heads, it's programmed into us. And that's all we see. And we don't see any positive role models. So that's what our reality is. So my goal is to get into more schools to, not only talk about the recruiting playbook, but to be a mentor, show them that success is there's a lot of ranges of success. I feel like I'm more successful being a family man, having a daughter, having a wife that I've been with since I was in high school. Nice. My daughter is 20 years old, so I could give you a lecture about how to have a successful marriage. That's success to me. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things that bring success. And I want to make sure that we're addressing those things. It's not just about what we do on a football field. I've been retired for more years than I've ever played. People don't even know I played football because I never talk about it. But it gave me the platform, and I'm thankful for that. But I want to empower us to see that we can become and dream as big as we want to.
There you go. Hey, that exposure is crucial. And I love your definition of success because, it's not about money. It's not about accolades. It's about impact. And the first real impact that you always will have is right there at home with your family. So salute on that. And so what I would love for people to do is, if y'all are connected to districts, if y'all are connected to schools that have, those young African-American men and women, that have those young Latino men and women, that have those young Caucasian men and women, that have those young, even Asians, just because they are making those grades. Some of them have some ambitions to become athletes as well. So if you know schools that are working with kids, you hear it. You can hear the passion in his voice, in his demeanor. He wants to help the next generation get to where they want to be, using athletics as the vehicle that may propel them and gives them a much firmer runway than before. But definitely, if you are connected to these districts, you're connected to these schools, reach out and connect. Leave the comments in this chat and we'll get with them. And it looks like we're at about 50 minutes. It just feel like we've been talking for about 5 minutes, right?
Right. And when you're passionate about something, man, it's just like, it just goes, it just flows. And you and I have spent many times on the phone and talking about, you know, both of our goals together, and your goals for yourself and my goals for myself, man. So my main thing was to always be around positive people that I can learn from. And since meeting you, I've learned some things. And I'm not that type of guy that's gonna, you know, think I'm bigger and better and whatever the case may be, like some people do. If I can learn from you, I don't ever want to be the smartest guy in the room.
There you go.
If I can learn from you, I'm going to learn whatever it is that I can learn, and I'm going to sit there and be a student. And when it's time for me to be a leader, I can be a leader. But I want to be a student sometime too. I want to learn because I don't know everything. And with us together, we're going to be able to impact more people, more lives. And I always talk to my daughter, I talk to kids that we work with about legacy. Now, in the sports realm, I've left a legacy because you know, at my high school, I was, you know, I've done a lot of great things athletically. In my colleges, every college, I've left a legacy. But the biggest impact is just like we talked about on that call, where I'm being invited to weddings of kids that I've, you know, trained.
Talk about it.
They're calling me and we're having lunch, and they're telling me about, you know, what they're doing in their lives and their careers. And that's legacy. That's something that will live forever. You always impacted these people. And with like-minded people, now we can expand that and we can reach out and affect more people in a positive way. And that's when you talk about leaving your legacy. Martin Luther King died a long time ago, but his legacy lives on forever, for generation after generation. That's the impact that I'm talking about.
Exactly. Man, one of the guests on the, or not guests, one of the viewers is asking about have you worked with children in foster care? She says she was raised in the foster care system, and that's an avenue that is definitely needed. Also, boys and girls clubs.
When I played, I did a lot of stuff with the United Way, and we just actually, with my organization, we partnered with a foster care around in our area. Now I haven't gotten a chance to work with them a lot because of COVID, but we did partner with the foster care, and we had planned to do some things with them. But yeah, I mean, you know, the impact and the reach is, I don't care where, you know, I've heard a lot about foster children from our partner, and it's horrible how some of these kids are treated. And it's horrible how the system will place kids in a family that are known to, you know, not treat the kids how they should be treated. It's just horrible, you know. And whatever I can do, and whatever my team can do, because I'm surrounded by some winners, you know. And I you know, Sugar Ray is a winner. My man Nolan Davis, definitely a winner. And the thing about all of us that's legitimate, we care about other people, you know, each one of us, you know. And that's the key to our relationships and our friendships, is like we all really genuinely care about helping other people.
Exactly, man. Well, listen, it is about that time. I want to do two things. One, let the people know how they can follow your organization so that they can connect with you, and get more information about what you're doing in the community, what you're doing with the youth, and then we're gonna share how they can get your book, the recruiting playbook, and also how they can purchase that book and get that autograph copy. Because if y'all waiting on I don't know, 2-3 months from now, that book is probably going to be platinum bestseller in all categories.
We're gonna be
So
working on that. Trust me.
yeah,
You know, honestly, you know, if there's someone out there that's listening, that has, you know, there's a lot of people that financially they have more money than they know what to do with, and they need a cause to put their money into. I'm talking to those people, and everybody. I'm talking to everybody, but those people that have the resources. I want to create something, and I ain't gonna put it all on the
yeah,
live
we
right
talked
now,
about it a
but
little bit.
I want to create something that I think is going to be very beneficial to a lot of kids, And my organization is a 501c3, so that is definitely tax deductible for whoever that wants to invest in it. But I want to make those partnerships with those people who have the resources to do so. And the thing that I'm thinking about and planning is very big. It's going to help a lot of kids. And whoever is wanting to be a part of that, that's going to be a legacy that you leave as well. You know, and I know there's people out there listening. But if anyone wants to get in contact with us, the website is thestudentathlete.org. You can go there and read up and see, you know, what we have going on, and then we can share the link for the hard copy of the book, which you would probably get in about a month, and I'll hand sign autograph those. But right now the ebook is on Amazon, and hey, keep buying it. I definitely appreciate it. You're not going wrong if you do purchase it.
Yeah, it's already a bestseller in multiple categories. Wait a minute, let me correct that. Number one bestseller in multiple categories. Launched at number one, and I added the website into the live video, and we'll actually leave a link for those people who want a physical copy of the book. What I'll actually do is I want to do a gift. So there's a few people that are on here. It looks like there's about 13 people that are watching live with us, more that'll catch the replay, etc. So for the first 5 people that actually comment book, then what I will do is I'll actually pay for ebook, and we can have that delivered to them today. So that's the first thing. So while we're waiting on them to leave that comment book, if you want a copy of the book, then go ahead and leave that comment in there. You'll have that ebook in your inbox probably in the next, what time is it now? It's almost 4 o'clock Central Standard Time. So by the time it is 5 o'clock, you'll have that in your inbox. I'll get with everybody after this. And then the second thing that I always do, if you've watched any of the live Facebook, the book talk lives, I like to give away a cash giveaway, $25 cash app giveaway. It is legit. It's not me trying to get anything from you. It's just generously giving, because I know that right now, we're in those times where some people are out of work, some people are financially flourishing while others are financially floundering, right? So that $25 cash app is just so that you can get lunch, you can go put some gas in your car.
Yes.
Hopefully not too much gas. You ain't out there too much, but $25. So the first person that comments cash will actually get a $25 cash app giveaway. And it looks like we have Mary Johnson has the book coming. Jamaica Bingham has the book coming. Almaz Kandane has the book coming. And it looks like Jamaica added her she added her cash app instantly. So she is the winner of the cash app. All right.
Nice.
And
hey, before I go, if I can say something, man, about you. Like,
okay,
you've helped me with this whole process. I mean, I can't even put into words how much I appreciate what you've done. And I'm going to tell everybody who's watching, who's going to be watching, if you want to be an author and you want to get your book out there, man, this is the dude for you. Because, you know, someone referred me to you and you were like on the phone, boom. It didn't even take you no time to, you know, get with me and put this thing together. And within a couple of weeks, man, I'm a best-selling author, you know, so kudos to you and what you do. And I promise you that I'm going to try my best to bring people. I've actually turned a couple people into, you know, program them or trying to program them to write a book because of you. And I want to say thank you. I appreciate you and all the success that the book does. Hey, some of that goes definitely to you. So anyone out there, man, highly, highly, highly recommend it.
That's all you, brother. You got me over here feeling like somebody chopping an onion. So yeah. So with that, man, I definitely appreciate it. But this weekend is all about you making sure that we continue to boost your career as a published author, as a best-selling author, a #1 best-selling author, and that we can continue that legacy and impact. I love what you're doing, brother. You are making waves and you're changing the game. So definitely. All right. For everybody else, hey Jamaica, if you are ready, then we need to talk. She said my second book is next.
Let's do it.
Caroline, don't be calling me out on the live talking about I'm about to cry. Ain't nobody about to cry. Listen, I'm in that same category, man. I love helping people, and I love seeing other people become the best version of themselves. So that's what this is all about. But once again, want to thank everybody that did tune in. Hopefully y'all had a pen and paper, got some gems, and connect with Mr. Reggie Rusk and his organization. He's doing amazing things. He's doing amazing things in the community. He's doing amazing things across the nation, and he will soon be doing some amazing things, partnering with different schools, different organizations. So make sure that you all are connecting with Mr. Reggie Rusk, man. Congratulations, salute, and we'll talk soon.
All right, I appreciate you.